Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very exciting instrument to unbox. I have been wanting a chromatic lyre for a very long time, ever since the lyres started proliferating on the musical instrument marketplace like Amazon and places like that. I thought, oh man, it wouldn't be that hard to make a chromatic lyre out of this. And then I found out that people do make them, and they're just very expensive. But I happened to get incredibly lucky and found one that was handmade ages ago. It's a vintage instrument, and it wasn't very expensive. So we're gonna open this up and see how it looks. Okay, let's open this up. We've kind of got two boxes stuck into each other here. So I'm gonna take this one box out. Oh, it's a very short box. Okay, here we go. I forgot to mention that this has the coolest case. It's like basically a briefcase. Oh, it smells quite strongly actually of smoke, so fun. This is something that happens with eBay purchases. Like, you are not always sure what you're gonna get. It's like genuinely a little hard to exist next to this, but we're gonna open the case and cross our fingers that the lyre inside is not affected. So here we go. This is a gorgeous case. I'm gonna set it outside and air it out and hope that things get better. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh, look at this. This really is so gorgeous. I am really confused as to, oh, this is a dampen. Okay, so whoever owned this instrument knew enough to know that you have to humidify it. So there's a humidifier in the case. I'm gonna guess this is the tuner. We'll open that up in a minute. But you just have to see this gorgeous, gorgeous instrument. That's just so beautiful. The maple is really so pretty. It's gonna need some cleaning, but I think by and large, this is just so gorgeous. Okay, so here we have the chromatic lyre, and this is just absolutely gorgeous. I can't even, the way that this is designed, it's so clever. So there's an upper bridge on which you have your diatonic strings. So looks like it starts down here on C or a B, maybe. This is probably a C. So it starts down here on C and goes all the way up, and you've got your diatonic strings. But then there's sort of like an under bridge here, a lower bridge where the chromatic strings come up. And they happen to meet nicely up here. So if you're playing up here, you have easier access to all of the diatonic and chromatic notes. But if you're playing more down here, it's much easier to access just the diatonic ones. So this is basically, if you've seen my videos on cross-strung harps, this is very similar. Instead of making the strings into like an X, so you've got your chromatic over here and your diatonic over here, and allowing them to meet in the middle, instead, you're making sort of like a V. So you have all of your strings meeting at approximately the same level up here, and then they sort of V down into being farther apart at the bottom. So interesting. Okay, I have done a little bit more looking at this, and it's going to need a serious restringing, unfortunately. It's not that the strings are old, which the strings are kind of old, but generally I don't mind playing on old strings, especially something like a lyre or a harp. They usually sound just fine to me, but I may not have the most discerning ear. But very interestingly, whoever last strung this or attempted to string it made a slight mistake, wherein they missed a hole. Down on the bottom, this little hole over here on the high end has no string, and instead took this string, which is supposed to be a chromatic note running under the bridge, and has strung it to the top layer, which is supposed to be diatonic notes. So everyone after it is out of order. It's kind of mixed up. And that would make it really hard to play because it's hard to find the right order of the notes if you don't have them in quite the right layout, which is definitely frustrating. It really shouldn't be that difficult to go through and do. It's just going to be kind of a time-consuming process. So that may have to be a later video, unfortunately. So I'm going to get up closer so I can show you a little bit easier. These strings on the low end are arranged in the correct way, so you can sort of get an idea of what it's like without me having to change all the strings today. So right down here, you have an E. And you'll notice that these pegs on the top row, these are like the white keys of your piano. These are your diatonic notes. So this is your E, F, and then down here in this lower row, this is like your black keys of the piano. So these are the chromatic notes. So here's your F sharp. It's really buzzy. I think there's something in the sound box. I'm gonna have to investigate that when I take off the other strings. But so here's your G, then you get a G sharp, and here's your A, and a B flat, and a B. So that's pretty cool. You'll notice if you strum down here, if you start on the F, it sounds like a nice major. Because you're just kind of hitting those diatonic notes. Whereas if you're up here, you can much more easily access the chromatic notes. It's really just a super, super cool instrument. I'm just going to open up this other little item that was in there. I think this is the tuning key. Oh my goodness, yes, this also smells of smoke. But there it is, the tuning key. So that's very exciting. So that is all I have on this particular Chromatic Lyre today. I am going to do the whole restringing thing and put it all together so I can play a little bit more for you and you can get a better idea of the sound. But if you're curious right now, I'm going to put some links to some mass-produced lyres that you can pick up, and also a couple books that you can play around with and learn some more stuff about how to play the chromatic lyre, because it's pretty cool. So if you have any questions, please do feel free to leave them down in the comments. I love talking to you guys. I always get a kick out of all the different comments that I get. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Thank you all so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and click on that subscription button right up there. Otherwise, if you would like to join my Patreon or buy me a coffee, the links to those are down in the description. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day.